Welcome back to another exciting edition of Veggie Mike Ellis. Veggie Mike Ellis on YouTube, Veggie Mike Ellis on Instagram, and Mike's Garden .moonfruit.com is the website. My hair's all crazy today, and I'm like kind of just down with it. And I'm wearing my favorite band's shirt, Ozomatli, greatest band of all time. Ever. Greatest band of all time, Ozomatli. If you ever get a chance to see them live, it is just a life-changing experience. So today I want to talk to you about how you're already vegan and you don't even know it. Yeah. Your existing moral compass is vegan. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if you're non-vegan, in your heart of hearts, you actually are. Yeah, I know. You're like, what the hell is he talking about? So hear me out. I'm going to give you a little quiz, and I'm going to prove it. Are you for or against animal cruelty? So, who's for animal cruelty? Who likes animal cruelty? Nobody likes animal cruelty, right? Unless you're just a total creeper. If you like animal cruelty, please move on to a different video. Don't ever watch me again. It creeps me out that you even exist. So most people are against animal cruelty. You don't want to torture little kittens and puppies, right? Like, you don't want to do that. Okay, so who is for leaving the earth habitable for future generations? And who's against it? Who's against destroying the earth? Yay, who wants to destroy the earth? Nobody wants to destroy the earth unless you're some kind of villain in some kind of, Superman movie. So nobody wants to do that. Who would rather cause world hunger as opposed to ending it? Who wants to cause world hunger? Hey, who wants to cause world hunger? Nobody wants to cause world hunger, right? That's come on. Who wants heart disease? Anybody want heart disease? I'm not trivializing diseases or anything. Don't get me wrong here, but because it's like number one killer, right? Think of women, I know for sure, at least in this country. So I don't get into statistics too much. This is a philosophical channel. But nobody wants heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke, right? Nobody wants those things, right? No. So there you go. I know there's a bunch of commonsensical questions, right, that I just threw at you. But what I'm trying to say to you is that your existing ideals and desires and everything that I just said, that's all vegan, what I just said. Everything that I just said was, the reason people become vegan: animal rights, environmental factors, health reasons. It's a commonsensical thing. There's actually no rational argument against veganism, and I'm going to do a video about that specifically. But there are all these rational moral reasons for veganism. There are some reasons people give against veganism that are not. I don't think they're rational, but you could maybe call it rational, but it's certainly not moral. Like, I like bacon. That's not moral. That's selfish. No offense. I'm not trying to act high and mighty here. I ate it most of my life. But that you got to admit, even if you're like, oh, bacon tastes good, I can't give up bacon, you have to admit that's not a moral reason not to go vegan. That you just feel like eating bacon doesn't make it. That's not moral. That's just you feel like eating bacon, right? I mean, you got to admit that. So even that's your argument, because I've heard it from people, friends of mine and family and everything. I'm not trying to say they're evil or something. But what I'm saying to you is that, okay, and let me elaborate, because I have to get specific, because I said some things. Let's talk about the world hunger issue. Do you understand, and you probably don't, I didn't even know until after I went vegan, when you eat a burger, you're causing someone else to starve. In order for you to eat a burger, someone else has to starve in order for that to happen. That is not a guilt trip on you. That is a logistical fact having to do with food production, because beef is so inefficient to produce that that's how it goes. We divert resources to feed cattle, that those resources could have been given to people to feed people instead. So, if you don't believe me, look into it. Beef is incredibly, and I'm not just going on about beef too. There's all these animal products are inefficient to produce. Chicken, all of it. It's inefficient to produce these products. So there's people making the argument, oh, chicken's more efficient to produce than beef. Let's eat more chicken. That's not the answer. The answer is vegan. Period. let's talk about the environmental factors, right? Yeah, animal agriculture is a bigger problem than transportation. Okay, so if you're going to talk about environmental issues and climate change and you ignore animal agriculture, I've heard, I didn't make this analogy up, but it's an interesting analogy. Analogies, by the way, are not science. They don't prove anything, but it's just a good way to make a point. I love how people treat analogies like science. It's not. But you know, a good analogy about climate change issue is like talking about lung cancer. If you talk about lung cancer and then you leave out smoking, that's the equivalent of talking about climate change and leaving out animal agriculture. It's like an insult to my intelligence. I watch these things on TV. I just watched a special on TV about it. And all they went on about is transportation, transportation, transportation. They didn't even mention animal agriculture once. And this was about climate change. So, it is an insult to my intelligence, man, because it's a bigger problem. Again, not getting into numbers. This is a philosophical channel, so if you want me to punch out numbers for you, there are some great vegans on YouTube that do that. Bite Size Vegan, Mike the Vegan, they have great stats, and they'll go on about that. They do a lot of work. I give them props. They do a lot of work to get all these stats together, and it's great. But my point today is that. And the animal cruelty. Let me just make sure I go over all my points because I don't have a script here. Okay, so you're not into torturing dogs and cats, right? And lock them in cages and murdering them. And well, do you see? Can you just try and see the disconnect between how we treat farm animals and how we treat dogs and cats? Why are they so different? Can you describe to me how their physiological difference between how a cow feels pain, how a cat or dog feels pain, the difference, or a pig versus a cat or a dog, or you and me, for example? There isn't a difference. It's just simply we decided who we're going to eat and who we're not. People eat dogs in parts of the world. People eat guinea pigs in parts of the world, and we have pet guinea pigs here in our house. So. It's speciesism. It's just we get to decide, We're deciding, who we eat and who we don't. That's it. We're the decider. I'm the decider. I'm the decider. I do the deciding. Sorry for the Bush thing. I don't get political on here, man. I'm just having fun. But unless it's political having to do with veganism, but I'm not going into right wing, left wing if I can help it. Try not to do that. Or religion if I can help it. Although I gotta give props to the Seventh-day Adventists and people like Buddhists who are vegan for religious reasons. Thank you for that. Seriously, I'm not religious, but I'm down with you people, man. I'm down. I'm feeling the love. But basically, what I'm saying to you is that if you're a decent, moral, reasonable person, you're vegan in your heart. Okay, so all you need to do is now, be vegan in your actions. Live out your own morals. Live out your own beliefs. If you're Christian, I'm very familiar with Christianity. There are so many parallels between Christianity and veganism. I mean, do you really think that Jesus would want people to starve because you want bacon? Do you really think that Jesus would stand for that? Or stand for the systematic murder and these we didn't have this systematic the way 2,000 years ago, like the way it is now. We didn't have this. And the post-traumatic stress, by the way, of the workers there in the slaughterhouses, you could demonize them, but they wouldn't have a job there. They'd have a job at a broccoli packing plant if everybody was vegan. They wouldn't be working there. They wouldn't need the money to work there because they'd be working at, the spinach house, farm or whatever the hell. They wouldn't be doing what they're doing. And the post-traumatic stress these workers go through, it's real. Maybe some vegans aren't sympathetic to slaughterhouse workers, but I am. These are people that just need a job, and it's a horrific job. It's horrific. So they shouldn't, the reason they have a job is because people are buying the product that they're selling. It's just business. I'm not sticking up for the meat business, and there's a lot of, deception that go on to keep them in business, and shady money from the government they shouldn't be getting. And there's so much more to it. It's not simple, but it is simple. If you go vegan, you can stop it. You can stop it all. You can further the you can make it way more likely that our descendants are going to have an earth to live on. You could save yourself from getting heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke. Do you want those diseases? Because it would be nice not to have them, right? Be around just for your family, be alive. Would you like to be alive longer? Who wants to do that? Yay! All right, this video has gone on pretty long. I made my point. Live out your own ideals. Because that's all vegans are doing. We're just living out their existing ideals. We're not better than you. We're just acting better. You can act better too. You can do it right now. Just go vegan right now. How about just try it? Just do it for a week. Do it for a day. Do it for a week. Try it for a month, man. Just try it. Because you're going to feel better. You're going to see it in your health. I did. I'm going to do a whole video about that too. And you're good. There's an inner peace. There's a peace to it. Knowing that nobody had to die because you want a sandwich. There's just something about that. There's something about knowing that I'm not doing harm that I could otherwise be doing. You don't have to do this harm. You can stop the harm. You can stop. You can stop anytime. You don't have to keep eating this stuff. You don't need to eat it. We don't. And you can stop. So stop. Go vegan. I'm vegan as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.